Hello everyone. Welcome to our webinar on certificate management, explore beyond spreadsheet and calendar alerts. Thank you all for joining in. I hope you are all doing great. My name is Surbhi Singh and I am the Senior Marketing Consultant at Encryption Consulting. We also have our speaker Puneet Singh, Principal at Encryption Consulting. Just want to give you a quick overview of Encryption Consulting before handing it over to Puneet. Encryption Consulting is an established data protection market leader. Over 100 plus Fortune 500 companies and over 20 Fortune 100 companies have trust our services and solutions. We provide expert advice on the data security and data protection landscape. And we are dedicated to helping businesses protect sensitive data and prevent security breaches. Now, I will let Puneet introduce himself. Please remember that if you have any questions, you can share your questions in the Q&A bar below. And I will just wait for a few minutes for Puneet to join in. So please be patient and wait for a few minutes.
Thank you for the introduction, Sarbi. Hello, everyone. I'm Puneet Singh, Principal at Encryption Consulting. Here is a little introduction about me. I've been working in the data protection domain for the past 2 decades. I've worked with the organizations from across the globe on data protection and privacy laws and regulations, and have conducted multiple successful data protection and privacy assessments and implemented preventive measures against data breaches. During my time at Encryption Consulting, I had the opportunity to provide my expertise to Fortune 500 companies concerning enterprise data protection strategies, product selections, designing solutions, and implementing an integration work on different data protection technologies. Now let's move on to the reason why we all are here, the topic of certificate management and how to do it efficiently and securely. Before we start, before we start this session, I would like to set up the stage and basically talk about what we are going to talk in next 30 to 40 minutes. During this presentation, I'll take you all through an introduction to certificate management processes to help you guide through the decision of which process is most suitable for you. I'll provide you with a detailed analysis of the comparison between manual and automated certificate management, shedding light on the challenges that come with managing certificates manually. Then we'll look at how automating these processes can make things a lot easier. After that, I'll discuss what factors to consider when choosing the right certificate lifecycle management processes and highlight the advantages of going with an automated approach. If you're currently managing certificates manually, don't worry, we have got you covered. We'll go through the steps and guidelines for migrating to an automated certificate lifecycle management system smoothly. And then finally, I'll introduce you to the Cert Secure Manager, our own certificate lifecycle management solution. We'll show you how it can help automate and simplify your certificate management processes. Moving on to the next slide. Before I start the presentation, I would like to set up the stage a little bit. With the exponential increase in the number of digital certificate, traditional methods of managing certificates with spreadsheet and calendar alerts fall short. This webinar will explore the urgent need to transition to an automated certificate lifecycle solution, highlighting the benefits of operational efficiencies, proactive disaster recovery management, and scalability. With an average organization utilizing around 255,000 keys and certificates and 52% finding current processes challenging, the imperative for change is clear. By 2025, the number of SSL/TLS certificates is projected to quadruple, necessitating an urgent shift towards an automated certificate lifecycle management solutions. In the past year, a staggering 77% of organizations experienced certificate related outages with a downtime cost ranging from 1 to 5 million per hour. Shockingly, 67% took approximately 3 hours to identify and rectify these issues. This highlights the critical need for automated certificate lifecycle solutions to mitigate costly disruptions efficiently. Moving on to the next section. Right now, a lot of you might be relying heavily on the manual processes to manage your certificates using spreadsheets and calendar alerts, which can work reasonably well if you're dealing with a smaller volume. But as the volume grows, this approach becomes less sustainable, especially with a lot of wildcard and untracked certificates posing serious threats. So let's take a quick inventory check. Does anyone know the exact number of certificates your organization is using right now? And what about the different certificate authorities which are issuing them? Can you easily see the turnaround time for managing each one? Additionally, do you have comprehensive reports that details which security standards and compliances are being met and which are not? And perhaps most importantly, is your current processes scalable? What is the maximum threshold before this method becomes impractical? Here are the key takeaways. Scalability. As your organization expands, can your current manual processes keep up? Is there a point where the spreadsheets and reminders become a tangible mess? These are the critical questions that you understand whether you are still in a manageable state, or if you have already crossed into a stage where manual methods are no longer sufficient. NIST has made a compelling point in this regard. They state any insistence on using manual methods where automation could be used to limit operational security risks must be explicitly justified. This underscores the importance of transitioning to automated solutions. We recommend you take this inventory check when considering the future state of your certificate management processes. It is important to recognize your organization's threshold limit to manually managed digital certificates from multiple certificate authorities to have a clear plan of action for the future. As organizations scales, it is imperative for you to constantly keep track of your current systems and compare them against the latest regulations and laws. In the absence of an automated processes in place, considering the high cost of non-compliance. By relying on manual processes, you are not just risking the inefficiencies, you are also increasing your operational security risks. Automation isn't just a convenience, it's a necessity for maintaining security and efficiencies as your organization scales. It's crucial that you recognize the limitations of your current manual processes and seriously consider moving towards automation. This will help you to manage your certificates more efficiently and ensure that you meet your security and compliance requirements without unnecessary risks. Moving on to the new section where I'm going to talk about the comparison between the automated versus the manual certificate management processes. Now, talking about managing certificates manually, it does work for a small scale operations, but as things get more complex, you need an all out solution. That's where the automation comes in. On the left of the slide, we see the limitations of manual certificate management. It can be tough to keep track of everything: outdated certificates, protocols, and more. Automated system continuously monitor certificates and update them to latest security standards. The system might be using depreciated algorithms like SHA-1 or the TLS 1.1, but the application owners or the admins won't be alerted as there is no workflow in places. Whereas when it comes to automated solution, they have a continuous monitoring systems in place which keep track of all the latest updates and security protocols and update the admins about any compliance violation or depreciated algorithms or protocols used within the organization. There is always a risk of human error with the manual solution, like the private key might get compromised. So there is a neither any preventive nor there is any fallback mechanism in place that takes care of such adverse scenarios. Adverse situations include outages, certificate misconfiguration, system failure, compliance violation, employee leaving the organization, and policy violations. On the other hand, in the case of automated solutions, there are proactive ticketing mechanisms for alerting and fallback mechanisms that kick in during the security outages. Also, the automated handling of keys reduces the chance of human error, preventing the security risks. Moving on to the next slide, we are going to do a comparison of the financial data when compared for the manual solution versus the automated solution. We conducted a survey with few of our customers and we noticed that when customers are doing the enrollment of the certificates using the manual processes, it typically costs them $1,875 because it involves significant time and effort from the IT staff. Whereas if the customers doing these certificate enrollment using the automated processes, it costs them roughly between $250 to $300 due to automated zero touch workflows that handle the enrollment processes more efficiently. If we look at the cost of the outages, what we have seen with our customers, it typically costs them $150,000 if they are doing the manual management, which is prone to errors like expired certificate and misconfiguration and leading to the outages. Whereas the customers which are using the automated certificate lifecycle management, their cost is reduced nearly to zero as it's a proactive incident management and continuous monitoring prevent outages before they occur. If we move on to the next section, what we have noticed that when we talk about the turnaround time in terms of enrollment renewal processes, the automated solution brings down both the processes to nearly 0 hours as they have zero touch automated workflows to handle them. So if we see that on the matrix of the time efficiencies, the enrollment takes 3 work days in a typical organization, and renewal takes roughly 1 work day, leading to delays. Whereas the companies which follow the automated processes, both are reduced to minimal or to no time, thanks to the automated processes that require minimal human interventions. Now, moving on to the comparison on the disaster recovery, comparing both the manual as well as the automated processes. When we do the comparison based on the disaster recovery, here the manual certificate management takes a toll as there are no incident workflows in place to handle an outage in a manual solution. Once an outage has happened, then only manual errors are sent on the application to the application owners. There is no proactive mechanisms in place to handle such a situation. On the other hand, automated solutions have several integrations that handle and provide proactive workflows for such adverse situation. An integration like ServiceNow mitigates the outages through the reporting and ticketing mechanism, unlike manual processes that are time consuming and error prone. Automated solutions excel at handling outages. Their zero touch workflows instantly manage backups, recovery, renewals, and revocations. This eliminates the complexity of manual setups for redundancy and failovers while minimizing the chance of human error. Ultimately, automation ensures a faster and more efficient responses to outages. Manual processes for handling outages are not only time consuming and error prone, but also statistically more likely to result in disruptions. According to the EMA IT Security Research 2021, a staggering 77% of enterprises struggle to renew digital certificates without experiencing an outage. In contrast, automated solutions with workflows like Acme and EST can significantly reduce this risk, bringing the failure rate down to just 10%. This dramatic improvement stems from the efficiency and accuracy of automation, which streamlines tasks like backups, recovery renewals, and revocations. Furthermore, automation eliminates the complexity of manual redundancy and failure setups, minimizing the human error that often plagues such processes. Ultimately, the automation ensures a faster, more reliable, and less error prone responses to outages, freeing up IT staff to focus on more strategic initiatives. Moving on to the next slide. In this section, we'll outline a checklist for must have features in an automation solution. When shifting from the manual to an automated solutions, this is our checklist of the points which should be kept in mind. Automating certificate management start with a comprehensive and a centralized view of all your certificates. This includes certificates issued by the both internal private certificate authorities and external public sees. A well-designed system should provide real-time synchronization to ensure your inventory is always up to date. This lets you track certificate life cycles, identify potential security risks, and schedule renewals proactively. The solution should have a centralized dashboard that offers a view into all certificates, providing a single pane of monitoring. With the intelligent visualization, administrators can easily interpret customized insights into the overall infrastructure. The dashboard may seamless exportation of all audit logs, ensuring compliance and ensuring integrations with the SIM tools for enhanced security posture. The solution should offer comprehensive lifecycle automation workflows for certificate management. This includes automatic processes for issuance, renewal, enrollments, and provisioning of certificates to end devices. It integrates seamlessly with the industry standards protocols such as Acme, EST, and RESTful APIs, ensuring compatibility with existing applications. Additionally, alerting workflows are in place to promptly notify administrators of critical events. Furthermore, the solution should have incident management with any incident reporting platforms like ServiceNow to handle adverse situations. Moving on to the slide 12, the other things what we normally recommend to the customers is to have the proper policies and governance in place so that there is a role based access controls to control the permissions of the users. There should be a proper segregation that what user have access to what certificate authorities. The architecture of the solution should be scalable and loosely coupled so that the people can scale the solution as their need grows. It should also have a compliance monitoring and checks so that the organizations can comply to the various privacy regulations such as HEPA, HITECH, PCI DSS, etc. Moving on to the next section. So, when we talk about the advantages, what the organization get automated certificate lifecycle management, it the biggest one what we have noticed is that it helps them achieve the enterprise wide crypto agility. Crypto agility is the ultimate goal for the automated certificate lifecycle management solution. To be able to practice continuous enterprise wide crypto agility means you have successfully implemented a future fit CLM system that is scalable, efficient, and compliant. The certificate lifecycle management solution helps in complete visibility into the certificate infrastructure, ensuring proactive compliance with security policies and regulations. Crypto agile organizations prioritize transparency and awareness of all cryptographic assets, namely keys, algorithms, certificates, protocols, etc. It provides a CA agnostic approach to managing different certificate authorities, enhancing flexibility and adaptability. It provides automated workflows to meet industry standards such as Google 90-day TLS validity and ensure no security blind spots are there which can cause certificate related outages or crypto security weakness occur. The second biggest benefit of having the s- automated certificate lifecycle management is to have a centralized policies and governance. Centralized policies, PKI policies and governance in the certificate lifecycle management solution enforces strict cryptographic policies across the organization. It enables the development and implementation of standardized cryptographic policies across the entire organization, ensuring security and compliance. It provides tools for creating policies, enforcing adherence, and monitoring compliance. It provides granular access control mechanism, which a manual solution like spreadsheets can never offer. This ensures that only authorized personnel can manage sensitive cryptographic operations, enhancing security and operational efficiencies. It maintains detailed logs for every user interaction and certificate or key related activity. These audit trails provide accountability, transparency, and the ability to track and investigate security events, effectively facilitating compliance and security auditing. The third and the biggest benefit of having the certificate automated certificate lifecycle management is to achieve the post quantum readiness. The post quantum readiness refers to the preparedness of a certificate lifecycle management solution to handle the cryptographic challenges posed by quantum computing. Quantum computers have the potential to break many of the cryptographic algorithms currently in use, which could compromise data security. The readiness includes the ability to adopt and integrate quantum resistant algorithms that are secure against both classical con- both classical and quantum computational attacks. A post quantum ready certificate lifecycle management solution ensures future proofing of the cryptographic infrastructure by being flexible and adaptable to quickly incorporate advancement in quantum resistant cryptography. The last thing which I would like to point out is that the one of the other benefits which is there of using the certificate lifecycle management solution is to achieve the zero trust readiness. The zero trust readiness refers to the ability of a certificate lifecycle management solution to support the principles of the zero trust security model. The model is based on the idea that no part of a network, whether inside or outside the organization boundaries, should be automatically trusted. Instead, every request to access resource must be verified, authenticated, and authorized. This is the level of security a CLM solution provides to an organization with continuous authentication and authorization capabilities, and dividing the network into smaller, isolated segments to limit the lateral movement of threats and ensure granular access. This model also ensures the implementation of adaptive security policies that can respond to changing security conditions and threats in real time. Moving on to the next section. In this section, we will outline the overall migration process, including the steps to take when migrating from a manual to an automated certificate lifecycle management solution. Discussing policy enforcement, our migration guide emphasizes the importance of policy enforcement. We ensure that clear policies and procedures are in place for certificate owners and consumers, covering issuance, renewal, and revocation processes. We conduct regular compliance checks to ensure alignment with industry regulations and security standards. This proactive approach helps us maintain a high level of security and compliance throughout the certificate lifecycle. Talking about little bit about the agent deployment and onboarding. As part of the migration process, we deploy the CA connectors to facilitate inventory synchronization and future interval syncs. This ensures that our inventory remains accurate and up to date. We also onboard application users and owners for certificate management, providing them with the necessary tools and training to efficiently manage certificates within their applications, addressing inventory sync and discovery. To streamline inventory management, we import all certificates from the CA and synchronize them with a centralized inventory. This centralization simplifies the certificate tracking and management. We also perform distributed discovery to identify and import rogue and unknown certificates across the segmented network. This comprehensive approach helps us maintain visibility and control of overall certificates. Moving on to the next section of discussing ownership and departmentalization, we believe in assigning clear ownership of CAs and departments to application owners. This empowers them to oversee certificate related operations and ensures accountability within their respective areas. Departmental segregation further enhances the ownership by providing granular permissions and clear visibility into certificate management responsibilities. This approach promises efficient operations and compliance with the organization policies. What is the migration approach which most of the organization take when deploying the certificate lifecycle management in their organization? This is an all-out implementation plan of a certificate lifecycle management solution, and it's a kind of a phased approach which we normally suggest to our customers instead of doing a big bang. The phase one, which helps organization deploy system servers, which typically takes estimated time of 1 to 2 days if they are doing an on-premises deployment. In the first phase, focus will be on deploying the certificate lifecycle management servers in a single tenant environment. This collaborative effort involves both the customer's IT team and the certificate lifecycle management team. Once the servers are operational, then we can proceed with the access control of the services. The phase two, normally what we have seen is the onboarding of the users and the certificate authorities, and this typically in a organization takes estimated time of 1 to 4 weeks. The phase two centers around onboarding both the users and the certificate authorities to the certificate lifecycle management platform. The first steps involves syncing user details and administrative permissions. This critical task ensures comprehensive user and admin collaboration will be needed in the process to acquire the necessary user data and the administrative policies. Next, we'll move on to onboarding certificate authorities. This might involve multiple certificate authorities depending on customer environment. The estimated time frame provided is a general guideline, and the actual time may vary depending on the number of certificate authorities the customer environment has. The last phase, the phase three, is the testing and monitoring, and this typically takes 3 to 4 weeks in an organization. Following CA onboarding, the next phase will involve synchronizing inventory data with the system to incorporate any pre existing certificates. Phase 3 is a crucial for ensuring a smooth transition. Here, the CLM team will conduct thorough testing of the alerting system, integrations, and the enrollment processes. Once the testing is complete, we can shift to the final phase, which involves monitoring the system and providing ongoing support. The resources required for this phase will be determined based on the specific needs and ongoing monitoring requirements. Moving on to the next slide. In this final section, we will finally let explore how encryption consulting can help you automate your manual certificate management processes with the Cert Secure Manager, which is encryption consulting certificate lifecycle management solution. With all that in mind, we started the journey of creating Cert Secure, which should serve as a one-stop solution for everything PKI and certificate related. Firstly, we wanted to solve the CA integration angle. Cert Secure is obviously a Microsoft PKI native solution. We didn't want it to define it. Cert Secure can be integrated with the multiple CAs, be it public trust or private trust. As of now, we support Microsoft CA, AWS private certificate authorities, HashiCorp certificate authorities, and on the public CAs, we support Intrust, DigiCert, and much more. No matter how many certificate authorities you have, you should be able to indicate it with a Cert Secure to get a single pane of glass to control everything. We also wanted to make the enrollment process as smooth as possible. We all know how hard it is to get a CSR from a random Linux machine or routers signed by a CA. Now, if you use Cert Secure to get it signed, and you can get a certificate instantly. You can use both the web protocol or the REST APIs to get your certificate. Everyone from your application owners to DevOps will appreciate it. Obviously, if you get a certificate, you also want to be alerted if it is about to expire, and we got you covered. If you got the certificate using Search Secure, you will get a alerts weeks in advance to get you prepared to renew the certificate. And if you don't want to bother renewing the certificate, you can leverage our automation piece, which can renew the certificates for you. After setting it up, you can simply forget about it, and it will renew the certificate for you and avoid any outages. You can deploy these renew agents in IS Server, Apache, Tomcat, F5 devices, or any major web servers or leading load balancers such as F5. While the industry moves to the 90-day SSL certificate, it can become a core, renewing the certificate every 90 days. And we wanted to ensure you can automate it and stay ahead of the curve and never face an outage. When we built the Cert Secure, the certificate lifecycle management solution, we focused on six pillars from everything. While building the Cert Secure as our certificate management solution, we focused on six pillars from the very beginning. The inventory is the core of the product. Every single pillar relies on the inventory to be accurate and available. Inventory is regularly updated against the registered CS to ensure Search Secure always has the accurate data. When inventory is stored, reports leverage it to create useful CSV files and admins might find useful. There are currently nine kind of reports you can get on the Search Secure, with room for expansion for custom reports. The report contains all certificates neatly into a CSV file, which you can evaluate later or use for your data analytics program to access your environments. Reports can also be scheduled so you can receive it on your email, and you don't need to visit Search Secure if you're managing a team. Now, these certificates that you have in the inventory will be expiring, and the Search Secure will send customized alerts to their respective owners or to the admins, proactively alerting them to renew the certificates before it expires. Search Secure will alert you by emails, Slack, and can even create a service note tickets to ensure you stay alerted and informed. You can't ignore it. Coming to the one of the biggest pillars is how users get certificates from Search Secure. Any registered user can get a certificate from Search Secure. Each certificate requested and issued will have a dedicated owner. The ownership of the certificate can also be transferred if you are transitioning to a different department or just parting your ways. You can also assign vouchers to your certificates who can download the certificate and also renew the certificate if you are unavailable. Maybe you are away on a vacation, but you can rest assured that anyone on the watchers list will get notified and they can renew the certificate on your behalf. And the renewing a certificate isn't a big deal either. With just a click, you can renew any certificate on Search Secure and get new certificate in its place. One click renew feature can save you hours or days at best, ensuring your operations team remain efficient. And all of this is still in your control. You can deploy application wide policies to restrict any CSR reusage, or restricting the issuance of wildcard certificates, or even restricting a template which, when approved by an admin, will issue a certificate. All of this is to ensure your environment remains compliant, easy to use, and we minimize human errors such as and we minimize human errors as much as possible. Now, as discussed before, automation is also a crucial piece in all of this. You can deploy renewal agents on your IS servers Tomcat servers, or any leading load balancer vendors to ensure those servers get latest certificate without needing any help from your end. You do not need to face any certificate related outages from here on out. And finally, an optional piece of certificate discovery. Each of these pillars till now focused on making your life easier of issuing and managing certificate. But certificate discovery for your environment. Certificate discovery will scan your whole network to look for rogue certificate. If it finds any certificate that it does not recognize, will be flagged. It ensures that any certificate used is either from a registered PKI environment or from a trusted third-party public CA. If the PKI is unknown, the certificate is flagged for further inspection. If the certificate does not meet the certain security parameters, it will be flagged. Self-signed and expired certificates are also flagged as well. This component ensures your whole environment remains compliant and secure. Moving on the next slide of the PKI posture management. Our focus today is on PKI posture management and the critical role it plays in maintaining a healthy internal PKI infrastructure. Without a properly functioning PKI, organizations can experience application outages, highlighting the importance of proactive management. Elements presented on the picture. Amount of CA lifetime used. We track the usage of each CA lifetime to ensure proactive management and prevent unexpected disruption due to the certificate expiration. Days remaining until the CA certificate expires. This metrics helps us stay ahead of the certificate expirations, allowing us to take timely actions such as renewal to avoid downtime. Date CA certificate expires on. Knowing the exact expiration date of the CA certificate enables us to plan and execute renewal process efficiently, maintaining continuous functionality. AIA point is functional and identified with a check mark. A functional AIA, which stands for the Authoritative Information Access point, is crucial for certificate validation. We ensure its functionality with a clear check mark. The CDP points are unavailable and are marked with a red across. CDP, which stands for the CRL distribution points, are essential for certificate revocation checks. Identifying any unavailable CDP points with a red cross allows us to address potential issues promptly. Moving to the last section of the session for the today, tailoring certificate management to your environment. Cert Secure Manager, which is encryption consulting certificate lifecycle management solution, is flexible enough to be deployed anywhere you wish to. Encryption consulting PKI as a service, customers can get it in a bundled way and we deploy it in your environment we already manage. If you wish to deploy Cert Secure Manager on your on-premises data center, we do offer that flexibility as well. If you wish to ensure Cert Secure is deployed with a high capability with redundancy in play, we can deploy with such configurations as well. Talking about advantages, Cert Secure microservices architecture, it should be easy, reliable, and highly available for the environment. However, we want to deploy Cert Secure on the cloud. We do support quite varied range of cloud service providers and you can deploy on any of them as well. And finally, Cert Secure can be containerized, deployed in a Kubernetes cluster for maximum efficiency and availability. Just want to add that we do have the Cert Secure available as a SaaS offering as well. Thank you all for your time. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to put the questions on the chat or feel free to ask the questions. I will be happy to take on any questions. Thank you, everyone, for your time.
Puneet, thank you for sharing your insights on certificate management. We would love to engage with our audience. So let's dive into the questions. Remember, if you have any questions, be sure to use the Q&A panel. Okay, so I see a few questions coming in. The first one being, what criteria should organizations use when selecting a vendor for automated certificate lifecycle management?
First of all, can you hear me clearly?
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
So the main criteria what they have to consider while selecting a certificate lifecycle management solution, as I mentioned in the presentation as well, that it has to be a strategy as well as the framework which they have to consider in the mind. And normally there are three things what they have to consider while selecting the certificate lifecycle management. The first is that certificate lifecycle management solution will help them achieve the like if they have to rotate the certificate within the organization, will they be able to do that or not? Second thing, what they have to consider is that they have to look at the metrics that whatever certificate lifecycle management solution they select, is that going to help them streamline the IT operations within the organization? With that, by that I mean to say that, like for example, if it's taking 45 minutes to get a certificate through the manual enrollment, with the certificate lifecycle management solution, will they be able to get that in less than 4 or 5 minutes, or within 10 minutes kind of thing, so that they save the IT operations time and everything. And the last thing which they have to consider while selecting a certificate lifecycle management solution is the automation slash the integrations what the solution provides at the enterprise level. By that, I mean to say that the customer should have a flexibility to renew the certificates at one click or something like that. All the certificates get renewed automatically using the protocols such as ACME or the EST. That way, the whole thing which are related to the outages can be addressed, and all the certificates can be rotated at different web servers like IS, Tomcat, and the load a different load balancers such as F5 and everything. That's all I would like to add there.
Okay, great. The next question is, how is the discovery of certificates implemented?
So the best practice for the doing the discovery is to do a network discovery, and uh, is to do a network discovery and then basically converting that into a intelligent data. So ideally speaking, in our case, basically we provide two ways to do the discovery. The first way to do the discovery is that if you already have using a solutions like Nessus or Qualysys, we can import the data we can import the data from these tools and can convert that into a intelligent data. The second way what we support is that we can do a scanning, and then basically we can get the output of the reports on the data to you guys. uh, that's so is there any other question?
I think due to the time constraint, all the other participants can directly ask their questions to us. If anyone has any more questions, please feel free to reach out to us at info@encryptionconsulting.com. If you have any questions or if you want to learn anything more about what we discussed today, you can also visit our website at www.encryptionconsulting.com. Thank you everyone for joining in, and we'll see you in the next webinar.